I'm Sabrina Samuels, and welcome to my show, Upfront and Personal. It's my intention to deliver information that will help us maintain a quality lifestyle in all aspects of our lives. So let's get started. I'm Sabrina Samuels, and welcome to my video blog. To all of my fabulous ladies and gents, I certainly appreciate your support. Thank you for tuning in. If you have not subscribed to my video blog, please do so at this time or before the video's out, and make sure you watch this video all the way through. And if you hear any nuggets that might bless your life, make sure you give me a thumbs up. I greatly would appreciate it, and also ring the bell so you will be notified whenever I have a video blog. I'm so excited about this edition because my husband is joining me, Joseph Samuels Jr. He is my husband of 40 plus years, and I'm very excited to have him on. I ask you out there to, direct some questions to him if you want to have him come on the show. And we did have a few questions. So I'm excited, and let's hope that this is the beginning of many to come.
Well, I hope you're right.
Oh, yes. Well, on this video blog, unfortunately, it's not a happy subject, but it's a subject I did tell the young lady we would talk about. She did direct the question to my husband as well as myself, so I'm going to ask him to read the question, please.
All right, thank you, sweetie, for allowing me to be a part of this presentation. You had a subscriber who emailed you, and she says, this is probably a loaded question, but if you've experienced this, maybe your husband would be willing to do a video about how you guys dealt with each other after one or both of you lost a parent. Yeah. My husband has been a great support. It's just that it's hard for him to relate because he never lost a parent, and now I have. We pray a lot and hug one another through it all. It's very fresh for me at this time, so I'm still processing things. Thanks for taking the time to read my email.
Yes, well, that is a very sensitive subject, but how would you answer that? I'll give my feedback, but how would you handle that situation?
Well, first of all, let me express my sympathies and condolences to your subscriber for losing one of her parents. The question is not a loaded question. It's a fair question. It's an honest question. It's a real question.
Yes.
And the first thing I would say to you is that you are already very fortunate in that you have at least your in-laws and perhaps one of your other parents still alive. Yeah. So count that as a blessing. We all have to recognize that we all grieve in different ways. Yeah. And so I would say to your subscriber and anybody else, if you're doing what she is doing, praying a lot and hugging often with your spouse or partner, you're already halfway there at least, more than halfway. Yeah. And so that's a good thing. And so if I could offer any additional suggestion, and that's all it is a suggestion, because I'm not qualified to be a grief counselor, but I have experienced the loss of a parent, as has my wife.
Both parents.
Both parents. In her case, I lost my dad. My mom's still living. But two things I would suggest to you. Number one, cherish the fact that you have some loving in-laws. I trust that you have a great relationship with your spouse's parents. So treasure those very moments And please recognize that it's a gift of longevity, to be able to live a long and happy life. And I trust your in-laws are doing just that. So treasure them while you have them. And the second thing I would also offer is you've already gone to God. Leave it there. Leave it right there, because I think in the book of Psalms, it talks about God as an ever-present help and source of strength in a time of trouble. So recognize that you've already, like I said, you've already gotten the first step and the most important step by praying. And your husband seems like he's already in touch with his emotions. He hugs a lot. You all hug each other often, and that's a great thing. So with that, I would say don't worry about that too much. Have a conversation with your husband if you think it's something you need to talk about. For example, you might want to talk about how he expresses our grief. I mean, that's inevitable. We're all going to go through it one day. How does he express his grief? If you don't know that already, it's worth having a conversation. A lot of us don't feel comfortable in talking about that, but it's probably a necessary conversation for anybody and everybody. So have that conversation with him, and just let him know that, baby, if you need me or when you need me, please know that I am definitely going to be there for you and with you, as I always have. Just having that kind of conversation will give him the comfort, I believe, to make or to allow him to express himself in his own particular and personal grieving way, knowing that he has the comfort and support of his wife, and you're already prayed up.
Well, I think that's beautiful what you said, and I think that she will be able to relate to that, as well as many people out here who are grieving over the loss of a parent. I lost my mom when I was 17 and ready to graduate from high school, so that was very traumatic for me and my sisters. But we had a chance to go through somewhat of a grieving, just seeing her sick for so long. So when she passed away, we were relieved that she was out of her pain and misery. And even though we were sad and had a lot of sadness and just so many emotions popping around in us, we also knew that my mother was happy now with the Lord. She is out of pain and suffering. So that too, I think I'd like to add. When a person leaves this planet, and especially if it's one of our parents, and my mom died at 38 years old, so I'm actually living twice her age. That was very young, and so that was very emotional for me. But for those of you who have parents that are no longer on the planet, know that they're in a better place. That's the kind of joy that I have to take away from it. And when my dad died, I'd like for you to share what you did for me, because we just met when my father passed away. My husband and I, we just met. We were courting for maybe less than a month.
Right.
And what happened with that?
Well, this was early on in our relationship, as my wife just expressed. We had probably been dating a little less than a month, and her father passed. I had never met him. Her mother had already passed before him. So with that, the step that I took as just her boyfriend at the time was, hey, baby, whatever you need financially to get to Chicago, get back, be with your family, attend the funeral, be with your loved ones, and just acknowledge the gift of life that your father had. I would say, I told her then, look, baby, I'll pay for your ticket, round trip, because I do want you to come back. So I'll pay for your airplane ticket, and I did that. I took her to the airport. I made the sacrifice, and I didn't consider it a sacrifice, but I made the effort to let her know that I was there with her during that moment of time. And I wish I had gotten to know her father, but she told me a lot about him, so I felt that I did know him. So the least I could do was at least financially support her, in addition to my own prayers and hugs.
Oh, well, thank you. And that helped me get through that situation, because that was very hard. Both parents leaving, it's a very hard experience. I don't care who you are, how old your parents are, how young they are. It is a very hard experience to deal with. But knowing that they're in a better place, resting in the arms of Jesus,
Amen.
I think is so comforting to me, and I hope that will help this young lady. I hope that these words will help you in your time of grieving, and don't push your husband away. You know, sometimes they don't say the right things, sometimes they don't do the right things in our head. That's how we think sometimes. But he's giving you what he has. He's giving you his love. Embrace that. Turn it away, and then when you want it, you won't get it. So don't turn it away. Embrace it, and young man, your husband I'm talking to now, continue to give her love and understanding, and buy her flowers, and just do something nice for her every now and then, because you know what she's going through. Any closing words before I close it out?
No, I hope that we've said something that resonates with not just this young lady, but all of your subscribers. Like I mentioned, grief and death is not something we easily talk about or often talk about, but it is a necessary conversation to have among partners and spouses at some point in time.
Yes. Well, with that said, we hope that you have enjoyed this edition, even though it might be a little somber. It is something that is part of life. Life is a part of death. Death is a part of life. It's a part of this whole cycle that we go through. So enjoy life. And when we leave the planet, just make sure you've done everything you could do to do the right thing and the blessed thing, and enjoy your life to the fullest. Until next week, don't forget to go to my website, SabrinaSamuels.com or theBeckmanMethod.com. The information's in the caption box below. When you go to that website, make sure you click on to my online training program. We are both doing that training program. I think you'll learn a lot of great, valuable information. I would invest in it if I were you. I think you'll be totally blessed by the experience. It's there for you. It'll always be there for you. So make sure you do that. Okay, remember you're a winner. Don't forget it. Know it in your heart and soul to be true. And with hard work and perseverance, you and I will continue. And just know that our Heavenly Father loves us, and He wants the best for us. But we have to do our part. We have to do our part. And when we do, it's incredible. I'll see you next time. Love you, and God bless you, and always divine order.